Philip Kennedy Johnson, Trevor Hairsine, Jonathan Glappen, Scott Hanna, Rain Burrito, and Ben Templesmith send the Authority on one final mission before Warworld as Batman approaches the team, tasking them with stopping an invading army from another Earth. Philip Kennedy Johnson delivers one final pre-Warworld saga adventure for Superman and the Authority, surprisingly incorporating lots of different elements from the DC universe and things we've seen being built up through events like Death Metal and Infinite Frontier. I enjoyed getting to go on a cool multiversal adventure with these characters, and for it to actually have a simple premise of just preventing an invasion. It's nothing too complex and explores many different already established things like the Dark Multiverse and how that functions. Batman getting to meet the Authority as well as having kind of a competitive relationship with Midnighter was quite fun, as well as the world, the shadow world that Johnson set up here was quite interesting, and even hinted at these characters coming back in some form later down the line, and it would probably make for a great arc to continue after the huge Warworld storyline wraps up. Trevor Hairsine, Jonathan Glappen, Scott Hanna, Rain Burrito, and Ben Templesmith all help tell this multiversal storyline with some really fantastic use of their art and the use of shadows and lack of colour. I love the difference between the Earth Zero world and the Shadow world being done by Ben Templesmith in his signature strange style that actually becomes a story element, with the heroes commenting on things like how they look different and feel strange thanks to how the Dark Multiverse functions. It was great use of different artists, and I always liked that there was a separation that you can kind of tell which world is which. Batman Superman Authority Special Issue 1 was a fun romp through the Dark Multiverse, giving us one final adventure before Superman and the Authority head off to Warworld, and one that explores some really fun ideas and sets up some really potentially great stories for the future. I'm going to give this issue a 9 out of 10. Batman Superman Authority Special Issue 1 heads to another Earth where the Empire of Shadows led by the Al Ghul family have taken the entire world as their own. A priest of the Empire proclaims that the people should embrace the death that's coming for them as the undead soldiers of the Empire wipe the final bits of resistance from the streets of Gotham. Saif, Taj and Janin, the sons and daughter of Talia Al Ghul, return to their mother and silent grandfather, telling them that Gotham uprising has been quelled. Talia wonders what gifts they have brought as tribute, with one offering the destroyed ring of the Green Lantern, another offering the helmet of Brother Fate, and Janin Al Ghul offering something special that didn't come from the battlefield, but from the stars, and with it, they will be able to rule multiple worlds. In the present at Fort Superman, the Authority wait around for their leader, with Apollo telling Lightray to remove her feet from the literal round table. Natasha tells Manchester Black to stop touching Clark's Kryptonian crystals, but he knows that Superman knew better than to leave him alone without supervision. The team talk about what Warworld will be like, with Lightray knowing that this feels more important than when she was in front of the cameras. Manchester Black tells her all about the radioactive hellhole that is Warworld and how they'll all feel right at home as Superman returns, telling them that Warworld mission will go ahead soon, but right now they have some more pressing matters to deal with. Batman accompanies Superman into the fort, scoffing at what his friend considers a team, seeing as half of them aren't even on their side. Superman says that he needed a team for Warworld, and when Batman, the Justice League, and the United Planets said no, these are the people who said yes, and in his mind that makes them the heroes he needs. Batman meets with Midnighter for the first time ever, but Midnighter doesn't understand what makes the old hero so special. Superman fills the team in on what's happening, knowing that Batman has come to them since he needs their help for a change. Batman reveals that there is a threat called the Empire of Shadows, and it's coming for them, as Manchester thinks he means the League of Shadows. But Batman says that the Empire isn't from their Earth, and whereas on their Earth, Ra's al Ghul built the League over centuries, the Empire was built over thousands of years, and it comes from a place called the Dark Multiverse. According to Batman's sources, the Empire have become the only superpower left on their Earth, controlling every factor of government, economy, and even religion, and their armies are limitless since they are a form of magic he has not seen before, and the soldiers rise from the dead with something called the Lazarus resin, making them practically unkillable. Natasha asks why they are only talking about this now, so Batman reveals that the Empire no longer are limiting themselves to one world, and they have captured a prisoner who will allow them to invade other universes, and have discovered that Earth Zero is the focal point of all the others in the multiverse. Manchester knows that Batman wants to invade the Empire before they do, but this isn't the work of a league, this is the work of a hit squad. Batman says that it's not a hit squad, it's an extraction team, and they need to infiltrate the Empire's Babylon Citadel, weaken their invasion capabilities, and rescue this prisoner. He realizes that he doesn't know the team yet and he has reservations, but for now, Ra's won't be expecting them because they aren't the Justice League. Midnighter thinks that maybe his super friends won't accept the first strike option, hence why he's there, or he's not willing to have them put their lives on the line for this. Apollo apologizes for Lucas, but has some questions of his own, wondering how he knows this and how can the Empire invade another universe. In the Shadow Earth, the Al Ghul children wonder why Ra's is still there since he never speaks. They know he's there really for show, and their mother runs the entire Empire now. Jana knows that their grandfather is aware of what they said in the meeting and what they are saying right now, warning her siblings to be careful. Soon the woman shows them what she has brought their family, revealing the prisoner of war she captured was Tempest Figurnaut, who was hiding in the space between spaces, watching them. Janin calls Tempest arrogant for thinking himself as greater than they are, demanding he tell her about the nexus he spoke of and the world of which all others spring forth from. Back on Earth Zero, Batman trains with Superman and the Authority as Midnighter continues to ask Batman about his reliance on tech, but Batman knows all about Lucas Trent, telling him to let the AI in his head know that if he wants a fight, he needs to look elsewhere. Batman isn't impressed with the team, but Superman reassures him that they can do this. But Batman knows if they fail to prevent this invasion, it will be like Barbatos all over again. Clark tells his friend to trust him and not the team, since if they weren't up for it, he would know. After the fight, the team get ready with Superman telling June that her magic makes her one of the very few people on their Earth allowed to travel between multiverses, and because of this risk, they will help guide her. Batman explains that they are going to rescue Tempest Figurnaut, a guardian of the multiverse, and all the intel he has from the Empire comes from that being, so he's the tether to their realm. He tells June to reach out and focus on Tempest and see the Empire and the Citadel. The team are all suddenly teleported to the Shadow Earth, and Lightray finds it all smells wrong and they even look wrong. Batman knows that this is thanks to the dark multiverse and how it works, and how entropy accelerates and the laws of space and time break down. So things like the refraction of light is different among other things, not wanting to dawdle on them. June teleports the team inside the Citadel as Apollo asks for Batman to clarify that the Al Ghuls control the Empire, spotting a mural of people worshipping a bat god. Midnighter isn't too happy about that, wondering if Apollo finds Batman even just a little overrated. Apollo jokingly says that he bets no one breaks the laws of space and time to fight evil Midnighters, but Lucas tells him to shut up since he doesn't know that. They soon arrive at a huge cavern filled with bats as June knows that they aren't meant to be there. Suddenly, Jana Al Ghul appears behind June, grabbing her and teleporting out of the room before Superman can grab her. A booming voice tells the soldiers of the intruders in the Citadel, telling them to defend their masters. The team battle the giant man-bats and zombies as Natasha knows that something is wrong since their enemies are somehow still standing despite the firepower they are dumping on them. A being says that they aren't governed by physical laws and their magic sustains them. Superman calls for the team to fall back, but they find the exit has disappeared thanks to a big magic stone blocking it, and they can't break it without June's own magic. OMAC notices that Batman and Midnighter are missing, and Superman finds this good since they aren't trapped there with those things with them, relieved that some people have gotten onto the outside. June meanwhile is taken by Janin, knowing that they don't need her alive for long, only a few days just to get their forces to the other Earth. She reveals that she killed Tempest and built a machine from his corpse that creates a pathway between the universes, and thanks to learning more about Earth Zero from him and the heroes that could make these pathways, she lured June and the Authority to them, and now with a living multiversal transporter powering the device, they will finally be able to see the world the Tempest wanted to protect with his life. Janin and her brother make it through the portal to Fort Superman, but Midnighter confronts them, knowing of course this gig would end with them fighting to the death with two bats. Lightray can't get through the magic portal as Superman warns Apollo against killing, but the man says that they are just zombies. Superman knows they aren't zombies and he knows the rules when he signed up with him. Apollo finds resurrected bat ninjas to be a grey area as Natasha theorizes the Al Ghul commander is still in the room, camouflaged somewhere, still controlling the hordes, and soon after using his X-ray vision, Superman finds him hiding, taking down Taj. The The man tells Superman that he's too late and his sister and brother have made it to Earth Zero and soon their armies will file through the doorways. Taj tells them they don't hate the heroes since they would do exactly what the heroes are doing if their rule was threatened, but the Empire will bring Earth Zero the peace that it deserves and the peace that they have brought their own world. He says that the way of the Al Ghul is the right way and sooner or later the heroes need to accept this, and when they do, fewer people will die. Midnighter meanwhile is thrown around the fortress by the Al Ghuls, but it only angers him as he returns their hits tenfold, demanding to know what this Batman obsession is, since he's got no powers and nanotech and he's just a guy with a gravelly voice and calcified joints. He says he finds Batman very overrated. Well, he has his own vibe and it's so much more hardcore, and Batman doesn't even bother to kill people. Saif doesn't know who they talk about since he's more than happy to kill. A smoke bomb suddenly goes off as a sword spears Saif through the shoulder, as Batman strikes from the shadows, destroying Janin's own scythe as Batman finally confronts her, but Midnighter knocks the woman out from behind with his baton. He admits Batman's entrance was pretty awesome as he goes to look after Enchantress. Batman realizes that thanks to Janin's features that she's related to him, as the woman rants about her family bringing peace to their world, and under Bruce Wayne's rule, the Al Ghuls ended crime and suffering and death. June sends the villains back and Batman tells them to let Talia know that if they ever come back to Earth Zero, they'll be ready for them. Superman and the rest of the Authority return as Midnighter reveals that he followed Batman when he snuck off from the temple. Batman tells Superman that the Tempest was dead before they arrived, but thanks to Midnighter and Enchantress, the multiversal portal came back with them, so the Al Ghuls are cut off. Lightray asks what Batman's verdict is on their mission and Batman thinks they did a good job. Later on, Superman tells Batman that he doesn't like knowing that the other Earth is still under the Empire's rule and they should have kept their generals as prisoners. Batman knows that those were Talia al Ghul's children and she would literally do anything to get them back. He knows now that they will look for easier prey, and he knows it's not lost on him, and when Superman came to him for help with Warworld, he said no. But literally the next day after, Superman didn't hesitate to help him out, and his team came through. Superman knows that Batman is needed on Earth as he shakes his friend's hand, told to keep his guard up while on Warworld. Back on the Shadow Earth, Talia's children are brought before their mother and grandfather, telling them that the Figurnaut was stolen and that their way to Earth Zero is now shut. Talia thinks that they have dishonored their name as the old man in the chair is revealed not to be Raish but Bruce, who says that the heroes came because he wished it and not every defeat carries dishonor. He knows that this defeat will bring them wisdom and is grateful for it, since now they will see how vulnerable they are and see what advantages their enemy team has. He tells his family not to worry since they'll be seeing Earth Zero and its heroes again very soon.